Welcome everybody to episode 165 of the China Show. It's good to have you here.
165. Well, look at that. I guess we're missing 164.
Yes.
We'll have details about that soon. But more importantly, we'll have the office. If you guys were on Xiaobanhou on Monday, or I think it was on Tuesday actually.
Yep.
You'll know that we're currently remodeling and moving stuff around, so that'll be up to 100%. So bear with us for the time being. But today we're talking about Chinese people actually eating stones and rocks, and I promise you, 100%. That you need to go tell your friends about this episode right now, so we have more people watching, because it's not clickbait, and I'm not even joking. You would expect. Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
You see this on your feed, right? You're scrolling through, and it's like, oh, Chinese people are eating rocks. You would absolutely think it's clickbait.
Yeah.
Is it clickbait?
No, it's true.
It's 100% true.
So let's get into it. Let's saunter right into it with What's New, where we talk about what's new, specifically in regards to China. And I guess we have to basically take a look at this. So let's get this up here. Oh, excuse me. That's not what I was... yeah. Okay, this is What's New. So... Yes. What is this going on over here?
I think you guys would be very, very interested to know the countries where the most rich people are leaving.
Okay.
Because it's quantifiable, right?
Yeah.
And the thing that China really doesn't like is when its stats can go public, right? So what it does is make sure that there are no stats in China domestically for people to consume.
Correct.
But you can't lie about immigration records and stuff and people entering other countries, because other countries like the US have transparent statistics.
Yeah, exactly. So they know how many people are coming from China, for instance.
So what is this? The places that rich people are leaving, countries and territories with the highest net number of millionaires emigrating in 2022, 2023, so that's this year, right? And what's number one?
China.
What a surprise. What a surprise. Why would they leave?
Well, people are voting with their feet. It's pretty obvious why they would leave, because as soon as you get a little bit of money in China, you realize that the government can take it at any point.
Yeah.
Okay, and that it's an unstable system, and you know what? You actually don't want to live there.
Yeah. Also, I wanted to throw in there a very interesting one is Russia is very high. I wonder why that would be. It's strange.
Yeah. Yeah, same thing.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Anyway, a lot of countries there, but China, it's very clear, cut and dry statistic there.
Right at
China's
the top,
the biggest, yeah, for sure.
Cool. So are we moving directly onto the stone,
we can.
stones throw away thing? Yeah, okay. So what are you looking at over here is a bowl of stones with maybe a little bit of leeks and some chili and some garlic.
I want to throw a little behind the sausage factory.
Sure.
Kind of situation here. We were coming up with a thumbnail for this whole episode, and we're like, what would be enticing? So we put this together, and this is the key feature that you used in our first thumbnail.
Yeah.
And we were looking at it, we're like, this literally just looks like a delicious dish of like,
it looks like
clams
mussels,
or
something like that. Yeah. So no, those are stones.
Yes, literally stones.
Just stones.
Just rocks.
Yeah, but what are we how does this all work?
Well, so back in the day, actually, why don't we play there's like a little video of them putting it together.
Okay.
I'll tell the history of it, because I learned the history of this dish.
Okay, this guy's eating it.
Yeah, so, well, he's actually, he's preparing it and cooking it or whatever. Yeah. Anyway, so what this is back in I believe it was in Hubei, back in the day, when they would run out of food, right? They would actually, let me pause it there and show the stones here.
Do you want to see the guy's ridiculous face filter? Why does he got to look like a frog?
I don't know. They're trying to be silly.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I don't.
Looks like a brothel toad.
He does.
Anyway.
He does. So anyway, what they would do
Yep.
is when they would run out of meat, then they would only use vegetables and grains. Then they would use things like millet.
Yep.
Then they would use things like grasses and edible things that they could find around, foraging, right? Then when they would run out of that, in the really bleak old times, so we're talking like 1950s, right?
Yeah.
People in this area of Hubei, they would take some stones, and then they would use their cai liao, or the ingredients that they have laying around, so garlic, chilies, onions, things like this, leeks, right?
Spices, basically.
Spices. Yeah. And they would cook them with stones, but they're not any old stones. They're not like stones that you'd find in the dirt. They're stones that you'd find in the river. Yeah,
so they have kind of a fishy taste.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
Because it would kind of be like you're eating a seafood dish.
Yeah.
But what you do is, I guess the translation would be suodio, which means like to suck on and then to throw it away.
Yeah.
Because you're not actually swallowing the stone.
No. You're just sucking the juice out of it.
Sucking the flavor. Bro, stone soup is a metaphor.
Yeah, I know. No, not in China.
Yes. So.
No, you're sitting sucking the flavor out of the stone. And I think they're probably quite porous stones. So
I guess.
The flavor would soak into it, so you could sit there sucking on it, and it's kind of feels like you're doing something.
You know what you also could do is just not add the stones and just eat the garlic and oil. And
I mean, you could, but then it wouldn't last long.
It's true.
Think about it. You've got a little bit of spice, and now it's soaking into these big stones. You can just, suck on the stone.
So this dish,
Yeah.
Suodio, was like it was something that was abandoned in the 80s. Back when the famine kind of started slowing down the 70s, and then when the 80s hit, people stopped seeing this dish.
Right.
This dish wasn't a thing anymore.
Yeah.
And so what happened was it made a resurgence.
Yeah.
And it's been making its rounds around the Chinese internet for a very specific reason. The young people are not only criticizing this dish, but also saying that our new reality in China, with the slowing economy and the unemployment rate, means that we are going to have to start eating this dish. And it's made this weird meme-like popularity, and they've made like food stalls making it again.
Yeah, so people are buying it kind of just for the laugh of, like, for laughs.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, let's try this out. Can you believe people ate stones? Well, now it's something that is being made and people are going out and eating.
Yeah.
Which is kind of ridiculous, but I guess...
some people are getting mad, some people are laughing at it, some people are criticizing the fact that it costs 16 RMB, it's like $2.
That's a lot for a bunch of stones. Well, the thing is, do you give the stones back to be recycled?
Probably.
Yeah, because I feel like if you were into building or whatever, you need some building materials. You could go get some river stones from this guy.
Right.
And river stones cost money.
They do.
So they must recycle it so that he can then fry it up for someone else to suck on the same stones that you sucked on.
I know it's probably totally fine because you're cooking them, but do you want to suck on a stone that someone just sucked? Do you want my stone that I spit out?
Thank you very much.
Probably don't want that, right?
I don't want my own stone. Thank you very much. You know what I mean? I'll fetch my own stones from the river.
Yeah. So the idea is that there's a slight, like you said, a slight fishy musk to it.
Yeah.
In that, if you were living in rich times, right, where they had a big harvest of like river mussels or something, you're kind of getting that resemblance of taste, right?
You know what I think it is?
好吃，好好吃。
It's 好吃.
Yeah, 好吃. Oh, what have we got here?
Well, there's some more food-related news.
Okay,
I just wanted to cap up the stone thing, though.
Yeah, cap it off.
So the people are a mixed bag. There's a lot of criticism, but there's also a lot of laughs involved. But a lot of the young people, the lying flat generation.
Yeah.
That whole generation of people that can't find jobs out of college and stuff, they're seeing this as a grim reality, almost like an art piece in a way, because it's like this is actually we're going back to what our parents had to suffer through back in Mao's generation.
Yes, exactly.
Because we're running out of stuff. So I mean, take with that what you will. I don't know. I think it's ridiculous.
I think it's dumb, but there's a dish in Japan called kaiseki ryori, which is also hot stone meal, but you don't eat stones. It's just you eat lots of little very tiny dishes, but very like well prepared tiny little dishes.
But tapas.
No, not really.
Okay.
It's like they'll bring a plate out. There's a whole ceremony. Bring a plate out, and they'll have like literally like someone put a drop of oil in it or something. Okay?
What?
Like it's real small stuff. Okay, but
it's way smaller than I was picturing.
Or it'll be like there'll be a little sliver of something, but it's really delicious, but it's very small. And the whole idea behind it was the monks used to get so hungry that they'd heat up rocks, and then they put the rocks in their like tunic or whatever against their stomach, so it gets rid of the hunger. And that's where that dish came from.
What? Wait.
Yeah.
What does that have to do with the tiny little foods?
But I think it's because you're like appreciating the small amounts of food that they had.
Oh,
right?
It's like to remember the monk sacrifice.
It's a very expensive dish, by the way. And like you get, I think there's like 5 or 6 courses of it. And they bring you
What's it called? I want to look at a picture.
Kaiseki ryori.
How do you spell that?
I guess it's Kaisekirori, something like that. Yeah?
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So it's this.
It's lots of little stuff.
Yeah.
It's like they'll bring out and it's one at a time. So it's not like you get that. They'll bring out a dish and there's like a tiny little thing in there. Like think about it like something smaller than a one sushi roll.
Yeah,
I
see it. Like there's no food here.
No, but it's very expensive. I had it in Japan because my wife had a special through her credit card or something.
Yeah.
Where you could get it half off or something, and so we went to try it because it's mad famous.
The world's greatest scam.
I was so hungry afterwards. I was like, this sucks.
I was gonna say, did you go get a pizza afterwards?
Yeah, I went and had like KFC or something because I was just so hungry. I was like, because it gets you in the mood.
I can't appreciate that.
You know what I mean?
I can't appreciate that.
It just like whets your appetite slightly.
It sounds like something that, in theory, I want to appreciate. Like I want to be like, yeah, I understand that, but that sounds like bullshit.
You always get that. You get to those fancy French
Yeah,
restaurants
for
and they're
sure.
like, you read the description, it's like a paste created with
Yes.
this, and you
The
get this
infusion
thing.
of the-
yeah,
yeah.
it's like a tiny thing with one like stripe of sauce on
Yeah.
the side, and the sauce is what they were describing.
Freaking stripe of sauce.
Yeah, it's so annoying, and it's like
And I'm
a-
like scooping, I'm like licking the
You're
plate.
like
Everyone else
lick-
is like pushing it aside. They're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I finished this," and there's still
Yeah.
food. Somehow
and
there's
there's
food
like
left.
exactly. It's like
I'm like
what's going on?
licking the plate, you know.
Yeah, that fancy ass.
Why,
food.
what'd your wife think about that?
She liked it.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
She wasn't mad.
No, but she was also hungry afterwards. So anyway,
That's
I mean,
funny.
think of it as a starter that costs you more than like, I don't know, the entire menu of KFC at the same time.
Right.
You know?
That's funny. Anyway.
Yeah.
There's a lot of food news in China right now.
Yeah, let's move on to the duck.
This is a huge story right now.
Yeah, it's massive in China. Everybody's talking about the duck.
It's like got 300. I guess it got 361 million impressions.
Yeah.
On this story.
Okay.
And we're still looking at this delicious rock dish.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you see? What can you see? Okay.
So this is what's new in China, hot off the presses.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think this is? Because a lot of you probably can't read Chinese. If you can, you'll know what this is. But
It looks like a rat's head.
it looks like it, yeah, doesn't it? You just reading the words.
Yeah, but I mean, no, it literally. I've eaten rat before.
Yeah, me too.
But not this kind of rat. This is like a sewer rat.
Yeah, this is a sewer rat.
Yeah, this.
This is like Splinter, but like
Yeah, exactly. You can see the teeth. Okay.
yes,
It's pretty disgusting.
yeah,
So a kid found this in their lunch, right?
Yeah.
At the school
in Henan,
in Henan, right?
in central China.
Mhm. So they find this, and
Yeah.
when they complained or posted about it, what did the school have to say?
Yeah. They lost their minds. They went into full defense mode,
Yeah.
and they go, "That is not. Don't spread rumors. That is not a rat's head. That's a duck's head." Now explain to you got to explain to everyone why that would be so much more normal.
What a duck said? Because
Yeah.
you do when you buy a dish in China, the head comes along with it, the feet come along with it. It's very normal. So when you get a plate of chicken, for instance, you get the whole chicken.
Yeah.
You know, it's all cut up, and then the head will be on the plate, and
Yeah.
so it's super normal. You can also buy duck
That,
heads.
yeah, it's like a
They're like
a
a snack.
dish.
It's a snack, and it's like a street food. You can buy duck necks, and
Eat
you
it
can
with
buy
the neck.
duck heads, all that
Eat the
stuff.
skin off it. It's very, very like mala,
Yeah.
spicy.
So they're trying to say that this is a duck's head,
Yeah.
and people are like, "No, that's
They're like, no, that's ridiculous, right? So
Yeah.
it's absolutely hilarious because it blew up,
okay."
and they were freaking out, not from a PR perspective, but also from a government perspective. They're like, the government's going to come after us, and then the government's like, don't you dare make China look bad, and it escalated.
Yeah,
Went
weren't
all
they
the
like
way up.
threatening the students?
Yes. So I want to quote this. They called it Ratgate, or the rat incident,
Ratgate,
right?
Yeah.
And they said, according to in Henan, the students at the school were reminded by staff not to discuss the incident on the internet, right?
Okay.
Meanwhile, the official catering company contracted by the Jiangxi Vocational Technical College of Industry Trade issued a statement clarifying that they were not involved in the rat head incident.
Okay.
Right? The incident occurred at a separate Chinese fast food stall within the Qingshanhu campus canteen, which is not operated by Jinghe Food and Beverage, which is a contracted company. You see what's happening here?
Yeah, it's passing the buck.
This
It's like,
is the
not
most
us.
China
Yeah,
way.
Exactly. It's not us. Not us.
This is the China way. Sorry, this is in Nanchang. This is in Jiangxi.
Oh, Jiangxi,
Yeah,
okay.
but Henan business newspaper was trying to report on it.
Oh, is that what it was?
So anyway, let's continue.
I like how people are taking a rat skull to prove that it's not a duck.
So it says a Weibo blogger named Jianghu Li Fuxiang posted a photo comparing a foreign object in the meal to a rodent head. So like, they were legitimately trying to say, don't you dare say this isn't a duck head. And
Yeah.
the people online were like, what are you talking
It's
about?
100% a rat's head.
It's just a rat's head.
It's disgusting.
So they were breaking it down with like
I like
how
that.
animals work.
Yeah, and there's a duck's head
Yeah.
on the left. Let me get us out of here quickly. So you can see the duck's head, and that's quite common as a snack on the street. And on the right is the freaking rat head. It's definitely a rat head.
Yes.
Any-
It's just a rat head.
Anyone can see it's a rat head.
Yes. So this blew up, and,
Yeah.
and like I said, hundreds of millions of views before it started getting it shut down, right?
Yeah.
Because it can be a thing where it's just like COVID. This is a great example.
Yeah.
In the beginning, they're like, yeah, okay, COVID came from Wuhan, but Wuhan's a bad place. It's not like the rest of China. That's what the Chinese government says.
yeah.
Then like, wait a minute, wait. Even if we say Wuhan looks bad, that makes China look bad. So then they backtrack and like, well, no,
No, it
it's
comes
not
from
not
Italy.
It comes
Yeah.
from Italy. This
Yeah.
is the same thing. They're like, oh, well, Jiangxi is rural and bad.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's fine that they did that or whatever. They're gross.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, actually, no, this didn't happen at all. This is a duck's head.
That's it. Yeah, this is ridiculous. Yeah. By the way, did you hear China's stopped reporting cremation numbers now?
Yeah.
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 They've stopped. You can't keep track of how many cremations are happening.
You know what's wild?
What?
There's footage right now coming out of these vans that just have built-in crematoriums in the back.
Yeah.
It's really grim because they're just rolling around on the streets.
Yeah, sure.
It's bad.
It's pretty bad.
Anyway.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can't trust any numbers coming out of China.
No.
Yeah.
So this became such a big thing, and it actually started to get again, this is such Streisand effect because
Yeah.
China always does this. Instead of letting people run with this story and kind of make fun of it and say, oh, the school screwed up,
Yeah.
it blew up into a much bigger thing because now people are starting to quote old like poems and stuff.
Yeah.
There's an old saying in Chinese, which is 指鹿为马, which means calling a deer a horse, right?
Oh, okay.
And so now they're changing this phrase and they're saying 直属为鸭, which means calling calling our rat a duck.
Exactly. So they're changing it. That's fantastic.
Because it's an idiom, right? And
Yeah.
the idiom actually comes from a story about the corrupt eunuch and the master Zhao Gao during the Qin dynasty who brought a deer to the second emperor, presenting it as a horse. Fearful to disagree with him, many people followed him and identified the animal as a horse.
All right.
You see how dangerous this becomes? Because
Yeah.
now there's political intrigue involved.
Yep. You got to watch out. It's pretty funny. You know, though, I think.
Wow, so good.
Oh, you think he likes me?
Yeah, he does. He certainly does. So yeah, there we go. This is how
Yeah,
they've
it
changed
is.
it. Yeah. 直属为鸭.
This is
That's
getting
funny.
out of control. So people are making memes and they're basically there's a joke I'll try to translate.
Okay, you want to translate the joke?
Now
Oh.
imagine the students, they say, it's a rat,
Yeah.
right? And the leadership says, no, it's a duck neck, right? And the students say, no, it's a rat. And then the leadership says, here's your offering graduation certificate. And the
Yeah.
students say, it's a duck neck.
Okay,
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
how it is.
that's how it is in China. People just get bullied into submission, right?
Yeah.
And then people are starting to actually question the government out of this, which is wild.
Yeah, that is
like
crazy.
these little things can happen because this guy said controlling public sentiment is difficult and it requires some expertise.
Yeah.
And then some wrote that the entire affair is simply bizarre. Somebody said, you're all so focused on the head, but don't you guys actually want to know where the rest of the rat went?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's chopped up in the dish. You know
Oh,
it
dude,
is.
I would hate to find a rat's head in my lunch, my school lunch.
I know.
Yeah. Crazy.
So there's an update,
Okay.
and the Jiangxi authorities, definitely under pressure of the CCP,
Yeah.
announced that they have established an investigative task force to look further into the incident. The findings will soon be released to the public. So what happens in this situation? They'll say that,
And then nothing happens.
and they'll cover it up. They'll arrest people. They'll silence people. They'll make people. You'll watch the story vanish.
They love to do this. They're like, we've now
Yeah.
started something, a task force to investigate. And that's just their only recourse. They say that, and then everyone calms down like, okay, it's under control. And then guess what? Nothing ever happens. They don't follow it up.
No.
We're not going to have a follow-up.
No.
Yeah.
You'll see at most you'll see some tiny little thing like this case was solved.
Yeah, exactly.
The people at hand were reprimanded.
Speaking about school lunches, though, we got something else to show you here. Okay. Take a look at this lovely video. It was taken by a concerned parent at a kindergarten where the cleaning lady was... Oh, hang on a second. Never mind. Rick's coming in there. Sorry. Oh, it's all over the place today. Cleaning lady was actually cleaning the utensils for the kindergarten children in the urinal.
Yeah, in the floor.
Well, in the actual turd
floor urinal.
Got it.
Yeah, it's not just a urinal. It's like
That's an actual...
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, it is the piss tray type of urinal.
No, they take a turd in that too.
Yes. Yeah.
No, they do. This.
Yeah, you're right.
By the way,
You're
it's really gross. But in the kindergartens, and I taught in kindergarten, they had this exact system. They just
Yeah.
have like a ditch.
Yeah, it's a ditch. And
Okay.
It slopes a little.
Yeah, and then the children just stand over it, and they just like squat down. They could take a turd or take a pee or whatever in that, and there's flowing water in there, right?
Yeah.
And then the turds kind of like just flow off. There's like a drain, like a hole. They
that's
just
right.
flow off, right? So you can see it. I suppose you don't need to pay for porcelain toilets or anything because it's just a ditch with running water in it. So she's washing their food tins in that turd dish. I mean the turd trench.
There's a lot
What?
of words being thrown
Sorry,
around
like
here.
it's a turd trench. Okay,
It's a giant rectangular toilet.
it's a toddler turd trench.
Yes,
Because
TTT.
yeah, and the thing is, like, I remember because I was shocked when I first saw this. When I was working at that Hygiene kindergarten, they had this exact same thing, and the kids would just all go line up and just like squat over this thing in a row and take turds and whatever. It was like turds falling everywhere and just going down this, gushing down this turd trench. She's washing the dishes in the turd trench. So
She's washing the trays in the T cubed.
yeah, exactly. The mother who filmed this obviously took her kid out and then posted it online. And
Yeah,
now,
she's like, what's going on?
now
It's
the
not
kid-
normal, by the way.
no, it is.
No, I mean, in China, you take a video because it's disgusting.
Yeah. No, I'm
You
saying
know what I'm saying?
it is normal to wash things in the toilet
is,
because we've seen it. And
unfortunately.
we showed it on Shaban Ho.
Yeah.
Remember? We showed it last week in the piss eggs one where the guy was like, the beans were being washed and stored in the toilet. Now the kids' dishes are being washed in the turd trench.
I think there's a soundbite for that.
Oh, what?
Isn't there?
What you mean like this one?
我家好好，
Oh, no.
Wasn't it like this one?
太舒服了。
Probably. Anyway, moving on.
Yes, moving on.
We
Sorry,
have a
guys.
nice little meme over here. What is going on with this?
This is Rick this is from the Global Rhymes, which is kind of like the Global Times.
Sure.
Says, breaking live news, sick flip, bro. New 5G AI prepares Chinese athletes for the X Games. And that's good that they're getting their bikes ready for the X Games.
Yeah, I like it a lot. So anyway,
Yeah.
this is a meme from our subreddit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't forget we have a subreddit, reddit.com/ADV podcasts,
Yes.
right? With an S. Okay, cool. Go join it if you like memes.
Yeah.
We also have a Discord, which you can get through our Patreon.
Yes.
Just thought I'd give that a little
No, you
shout
should,
out.
and you should.
And I will there we go. Head to patreon.com/ADV podcasts if you want to join the Discord or, do various
See all of
different
our
things.
stuff.
Yeah, we got lots of cool stuff over there, so please
Our
check
patron is just as active, if not more, than our YouTube channel.
that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, is it time?
It's time.
Okay. It's time to give a shout out to our sponsor before we continue, everyone. And our sponsor for today's video is Athletic Greens, and especially AG1, which is the supplement that I take. It's fantastic. It's an excellent drink that you mix, and it gives you all the vitamins and minerals and whatever else a growing man needs, or an old
A
man.
growing man.
Growing boy.
How does
or
it
an
make you
old
feel
man.
when you take this every day, when you drink it every day? You
When
don't
I-
take it, you drink it.
I feel fantastic.
Okay, good.
No, like seriously though, I do like it very much because I do have a bad diet, and I mean it's my fault. You know when you can recognize something,
Yeah.
you just don't change it.
Sure.
You can see.
You look at it in the
You're like,
eye,
like a messy room or something. Your car's dirty,
Yeah.
and you're like, I really should clean it.
and you don't.
Yeah, and then it just it's like me with my diet. It's like, man, I got a bad diet. I really should change.
And you don't.
No, but luckily I've got AG1 because
Sure.
when I take AG1 every day, I get all the vitamins and minerals and whatever else I need, and it
True.
actually does make me feel better. So that I
Yeah.
can stand behind it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
If you're looking for an easier way to take supplements, Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Go to athleticgreens.com/ADV. That's kind of like advantage or adventure.
It's
ADV.
adventure. Yes, V.
That's athleticgreens.com/ADV. Check it out. And don't forget that if you don't want to type that in, you can go down in the description and click the links and support the channel. So thank you very much.
Yeah, we'd appreciate it very much, and thank you very much to Athletic Greens for supporting us. We appreciate it very much.
Yes.
And now,
Back to the show. We never left the show. We're live, actually.
yeah, of course.
A lot of people that do these reads, they'll actually cut away and back. We're live right now.
Yeah, we're right here.
We're
Like,
currently live right now, talking to you guys while we do Athletic Greens, the ad slot for them.
exactly. And this field is beautiful.
It is a beautiful field. Let's be honest. It's a gorgeous
We're
field.
just floating over this field, feeling all good and healthy because we drank our AG1.
I could have never felt better in my life because I took AG1.
Sure.
I drank it and it was delicious. It had a bit of a tropical fruity
It
taste.
certainly did. It does. It's
It
got
does.
a tropical fruity taste.
And I felt great as I drank that, floating over this field. He could be drinking that right now and you wouldn't even know.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
You would have no idea. You could be drinking it right now, enjoying it.
Yeah, I could. How long does this go on for?
Probably quite a while, but it's
Yeah.
a beautiful field. Again, it's a gorgeous,
I think,
gorgeous field.
what do you do? Improvise something?
You know what? Athletic Greens, right? The field is slightly green.
So it's a bit yellow too, though.
It is.
Yeah, they should think about making a different product. It's called like I know, athletic yellows or something.
I don't think that's a good idea. Anyway,
Yeah,
go to athleticgreens.com/ADV and you will enjoy yourselves just as much as we enjoy ourselves.
Exactly.
Our lives.
Yeah.
Our lives.
Yeah,
Yes.
fantastic. Okay.
Eat the fields.
All right, I'm sure we're coming
Any
to an
minute
end
now,
here.
yeah,
So it's
for
coming to an
sure.
end. And we actually would like to, while we're on the whole shouting things out, we wanted to shout out our Shaban Ho.
Yes.
Which is our VIP show that we have every Monday.
Yep.
And we wanted to show you what you may have missed when it gets there. How long is this?
This is.
I feel like
I
I'm
don't know.
swimming through this.
Okay, here we go.
So this is what you missed out. I'm just going to get us out of here so you guys can see. This was what happened on Monday. There's an issue, though, is the Chengguan are vicious. They are thugs.
They are. China hates the poor.
Yes.
And the government shits on the poor left and right.
He just sets them on fire. Just destroying people's livelihoods. Yeah.
Kicking women.
Kicking old women, yeah. It's kind of unsafe.
God. OSHA, not approved.
Yeah, that's pretty unsafe if you ask me. Look at that junk. Oh, and they see someone's recording.
And the Chengguan sees the camera. It's all over.
Yeah, look. Yeah, they see the Chengguan coming and
They do.
it's like, I'm out of here.
Probably, wow, so good.
It probably is it?
Wow, so good.
Cool.
What did we talk about on that episode?
Oh, well, we talked about Chengguan. By the way, if you want to join it, go to patreon.com/ADV podcasts and you can join the Shaban Ho tier. Of course, if you can afford it, we'd love to see you there, if you have the means.
It's the best way to support us.
Absolutely.
Because you get a whole nother show. Keep in mind, every single Monday, you get an entire different show on top of this one. It's not some like, oh, we'll come and hang out.
It's different, yeah. We talked
do a
about
whole
the
episodes.
urban management, these crazy scumbags.
Pseudo-police.
Yeah, pseudo-police that go around and trash people's food stalls and steal
them up.
from them and beat them up and stuff. So, yeah, we normally go and show things that we can't really show on YouTube. Sorry, stuff that goes a little over the line.
For sure.
Anyway, let's continue, shall we?
We shall.
It's time for our Soft Power Hour, which, of course, is our main part of the show. And today, we're actually talking about Cuba.
We are.
So,
Cuba Libre.
yeah, that's not a bad drink.
What is it again? It's just
rum and
Coke. Yes.
But it's got a fancy sounding name.
Doesn't
you
that
know
mean
what I
free Cuba? They should be against that. Those
Yeah.
dang communists.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's...
Should be
I would-
Cuba incarcerated.
I feel like Cuba Libre is like you're going to free Cuba.
It's like a hope.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rum and Coke is your hope.
It's a lot of. That's the hope for a lot of Cubans, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's all they got.
Well, you got rum and Coke. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
True.
Anyway, Cuba, as we all know, is an interesting place.
Yeah.
We actually have some... It was very difficult to find footage. I'm going to be honest with you.
This is actually part of the show. I want to talk about how hard it was to find footage of Cuba.
Yeah, we got this this woman. I think it's a woman.
Just play the whole clip and we'll talk
Okay.
about it as it happens.
Yeah, smoking a... that's a very unattractive scene.
If you, I don't know, you speak to yourself.
The mustache is really putting
Speak
me
for
off.
yourself.
Okay,
I happen to find this incredibly pleasing. You know what? This is, if you take it out of context,
Yeah.
this looks absolutely ridiculous with us in the corner.
Yeah, it does.
With a cigar almost burning us
Yeah,
over
exactly.
and over again.
Anyway, to find footage of Cuba is tough because everyone who's taken footage of Cuba, it's all like copywritten and they give you a lot of crap like, oh, if you want
Why
to
do you
use
think?
this. Well,
It's not a free country.
no, it's not a free country. You're right. But
You
this
can't
is
fly a drone without government permission.
Yeah.
It's hard to get footage out of there of like you couldn't do interviews. It's like China, right?
Yeah.
You can get some footage, but it's not going to be very realistic stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Or it's going to be sanctioned by the government.
touristy stuff,
Touristy stuff.
oversaturated.
Yeah.
Like some nonsense.
Believe it or not, pretty much everyone I've ever talked to that has made it to Cuba and
Yeah.
very excited to have gone to Cuba always comes back very depressed and not regret it, but like feels really sad.
Well, their hopes were dashed a little bit.
Yeah, they're like, oh, it's going to be the alternative reality to like capitalism or whatever. You know what I mean? It's just kind of sad.
Well, either way, the reason we're talking about Cuba is you may remember something called the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Mm-hmm.
And that was when, America tried the Bay of Pigs invasion.
That's right.
That's
right. We got something coming from
dude.
that.
Makes me irritate at the mere mention of pig Bay.
So, yeah, we had the Bay of Pigs, which failed.
Yeah.
And so then the Soviet Union, with Fidel Castro, they were like, we'll send you nuclear missiles to deter another attempt from the US to attack.
Mm-hmm.
And so they started to build the nuclear missile launch pads and everything in Cuba. And it created this massive crisis. It was the closest that the world has been to a nuclear conflict.
Yeah.
It was like seconds away. Luckily, it all got resolved, but it was the Soviets using Cuba as like a satellite, whatever, launch pad or a gateway to attack America because it's so close.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing that with China.
That's right. This footage is so not correct for what we're talking about.
It's like,
but it's all we got.
It's like stock.
Honestly, I think that's part of the story.
Yeah.
That's part of the story is that we couldn't find anything that we could use except for
Don't
this.
you just love that one of Cuba's biggest selling points is the fact that it's got old American cars?
They can't have anything new.
Yeah, but it's like it's American cars make it interesting,
Yeah.
not Cuban cars.
Well, there's no Cuban car. Technically, you could probably call them Cuban cars at this point because they've had to do so many drastic things to keep them going.
True, but it's still like
They're very industrious folks.
Absolutely.
To keep things going. They have like ceiling fans like jerry-rigged from like 70 years ago.
Sure.
You know.
No, you make do with what you can.
For sure. Anyway, as we're talking, we wanted to bring up something that happened.
Yes.
There was a little bit of scuttlebutt about Cuba becoming a resurgent power in espionage.
Yeah.
In that instead of the Soviet Union or USSR, I should say, using Cuba as an espionage base to listen in on the US, now China plans to do the same thing.
Yes, they're setting up an electronics listening station. Spy station.
We're talking 100 miles off the coast of Florida here, right? There are some conflicting reports. We didn't want to talk about it in the beginning because we were hearing that the information was inaccurate. So a bunch of media jumped on it and they're like, yeah, we heard this stuff. It was semi-accurate, semi-inaccurate, because what the actual correct information was is that they've kind of been doing something akin to this since like 2019, or at least been in talks since 2019 about it. Right?
Which is something that kind of ties into a timeline we've seen.
It is.
Where China started to really promote Cuba.
You'd think China and Cuba would be these like really joined at the hip, really. They're both authoritarian countries. They both are very against U.S. Power in the world. Yeah. So of course it's kind of like a marriage made in heaven. But the thing about it is that it's complete. It's a marriage of convenience. There's nothing in common other than the fact that they're authoritarian countries.
Yes.
But the thing that was weird, like you said, this timeline we've actually seen. We should have seen this coming from a mile away. Yeah. Because it's kind of blindsided everyone right now about this new partnership between China and Cuba, and they're going to be spying right there, right on our shores, and I can't believe this administration didn't even know about it, this kind of stuff. Because we've seen this since ages ago. Yeah. They were making these bizarre music videos with people that don't know anything about Cuba on Chinese propaganda outlets, talking about how America is so bad and they push Cuba around and how China and Cuba's relationship is so strong.
Yeah, you like, remember Dear Wang?
Yeah.
Protesters call on communist revolution and generations.
President Biden is imposing new sanctions on the Cuban regime.
There will be more unless there's some drastic change in Cuba, which I don't anticipate.
Songwriter USA, dedicated to Cuba.
Jilted lovers.
Getting every country in control. Why do I feel it?
A little out of sync.
Well, it shouldn't be. Anyway, it doesn't matter. What you're seeing behind, there's no audio here. You can just play it. You can see they made this very awkward propaganda about how the U.S.'s influence in Cuba is so bad, and it came out of nowhere because there was no context for it.
There was no reason for it.
No one was talking about this stuff, but they put it out, and it was funny because it was almost like it was amping up for something. Yeah. And what happens is China will get these kind of like, I don't know, 5-year plans or whatever, and they'll be like, okay, we're gonna be moving forward with Cuba relations. Yeah. And they'll try to. It's such a weird.
Why did they put this weird footage of, Trump and what have you, like
it's nonsense.
Yeah.
But what they'll do is they'll gear up for something that's going to happen a little bit later, and we should have seen this like ages in the making. Yeah. I kind of got weird feelings when I saw the Cuban revolution in China was pissed off about that. So I was like, oh, maybe it was just about the fact that they don't want to see people rising up and trying to like, become a free country.
But remember, we all know Passport Douche by now.
Yeah.
You did a whole video
I
about
did.
it. We've been covering him for ages. All of that set in Cuba as well. But something that's kind of funny about that is that he gets no respect.
No, but just to remind you of Passport Douche, here's one
here
of
it
them.
is.
没有吗？没有没有啊
No, pero no le pegues. No le pegues.
，no money no money 啊。我告诉你啊，中国人不是好欺负的啊！杀我中华者，所以必诛。不要动手啊！I'm Chinese, China. Passport.
So I mean, you remember this? You remember this whole clownish thing? He pulls out his passport and he's like, "I'm Chinese," and they all like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," you know. So this is kind of a whole, I don't know, Cuba-China relations. I don't really. What's going on?
So there is something to this. This like Chinese influencer is out in Cuba whipping out his Chinese passport, trying to be like, "I'm Chinese, you can't rob me."
Yeah.
Which is in line with the fact that they're trying to have influence in Cuba, but is not in line with the government's message, because like he's just making Cubans look like the enemy.
I know, it's not a good idea,
but it's reciprocal.
I think it's kind of
Great.
We found this video of Passport Douche.
Yeah.
And he's just trying to have a conversation with this Cuban guy. The Cuban guy doesn't speak English, but a couple words.
Yeah.
And the Chinese guy doesn't speak Spanish or English.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's going on here? And then they try to have this conversation, and it turns into this most racist thing you've ever seen.
Should probably show you. Here. Oh, we gotta go back a little. Sorry. It went ahead.
You got to see the everlasting friendship between Cuba and China.
Yeah, here it comes. Here it comes.
American. American. China. Beijing, Shanghai. I love you. I love you, China.
你好，你好。
No come perro, no? No come perro.
So what did he say?
He says he doesn't eat dogs, right?
So this guy's holding a dog. This Cuban guy's holding his pet dog. And he's making sure with his the Chinese Passport Douche's translator that he doesn't eat dogs.
Yeah, he's like...
I mean, would you ever say that to
No,
someone?
no.
Give me a break.
That's pretty bad. Yeah. It said he doesn't eat dogs.
He has no, by the way, Passport Douche has no idea.
No,
because
he can't speak Spanish.
No. Or English.
Yeah. His puppy is so distinctive.
No problem.
如果你拿这个，
会不会咬？
这个你要给大姐。
好，拿着
You
给
give
他
him。money to hold it? What's going on here?
No money, no problem.
啊，没事没事没事，给你，我不存在的，这个我不敢。哎
Ni me habla español que no entiendo ni papá.
Que le da miedo, es que no habla
Ah, te da
我给你
miedo.
没事。你喜欢北京，
I love you, China.
他喜欢 China，
Xi Jinping.
他很喜欢。
Yeah, I love you, China, Xi Jinping. This is a very, very bizarre scene that we're...
I mean, the guy is well-meaning, I guess, but he's also just spouting propaganda.
Yeah. I love you, China, Xi Jinping. But then he's like, he doesn't eat dog, does he? And then he's like...
Because like that's what people know there. That's what people talk about there. It's not a country with an ear to the world.
And didn't he ask him to pay money to hold the dog as well?
In the beginning?
Yeah.
No, he said no money, it's not an issue. And he said, no, it's okay. The Chinese guy said, no, it's okay. I'll give you money. But he doesn't want to hold the dog.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just,
Because he's worried it's going to bite him.
He's like, here, hold the dog. Give me money to hold the dog. He's like, no, I'll just give you the money and then I won't hold the dog.
Yes, because
so he's still trying to
hold the
scam him. Just trying to hustle him, it looks like.
I don't know. I think
You
he's
think
being
so?
nice on camera.
Right.
Yeah, I think he's just being
Shanghai, Peking, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Canton, Guangzhou,
哦，
Wuhan, Jinche.
他怎么说？他说这些城市他都非常喜欢。
I love you, China.
I love you, I love you, Cuba.
Yeah. That's what they call Cuba Libre. It's Zio Cuba.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
I remember because I was ordering them with my friend once. And
Freedom Cuba.
Zio Cuba. Yeah. Interesting.
Cuba Havana.
What is your name, you? What is your name?
我，我的名字大古，
Taku.
大古啊，
大古
飞，大哥，
Roberto.
Roberto,
No. Roberto.
Roberto,
No. Ro.
Roberto.
Roberto. Ahí está. Español clarito, arte claro.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, you get the
Yes.
idea. So there's something going on with China and Cuba. Anyway.
Nobody, like, there's just no, this partnership and friendship, it's not existent.
No.
It's not a thing.
No, it's not a thing. No.
But it's forced, and it's so cringe because there's been no like inroads made, period. But now it's just going to be this massive spy base.
Well, it makes sense for China to put an electronics listening station, right there, because like I say, it's 100 miles off the
100
coast.
miles, yeah.
It's very close. So yeah, you could get. They obviously want to spy on the U.S. They send spy balloons over.
Yeah.
They send all these spies all the time into the U.S., which we've seen a lot of them getting caught.
I'm going to be honest with you.
What?
China's setting up surveillance in Cuba. I just have this slight tinge of feeling that U.S. surveillance might be better.
Probably.
It might completely kibosh this entire thing.
It might.
But anyway, the fact that that's on the table shows a hint of what's actually happening. And again, if we needed a clearer picture of the Cold War 2.0, I don't think we could get a clearer one at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, where anyone that's like kind of tiptoeing around the idea that we're not already at war with China in some way, you're wrong.
Exactly. By the way, why does he keep telling him to pick up the dog?
Because he wants. I think he's nice. He wants him to take photos and stuff for this dog. Except does he bite?
神經病，我 BB，那個會唔會咬人啊？哎呀，抱着這個狗啊，吉祥狗。
And then I think he gives him money at the end.
2023年發大財。
But he doesn't ask.
It's a hustle. Why is he got a spray bottle? I don't know what's going on.
He's saying he said he peed on you.
Okay.
It's like he's like a street performer.
I love you, China.
Anyway, it's innocent enough. I'm not trying to analyze. I just thought it was funny that he was like racist AF, right?
Yeah, exactly.
As soon as he peed.
Throughout
And then
its
Passport Douche is
5,000
blissfully on the. You know what Passport Douche reminds me of?
What?
He reminds me of when foreigners from other countries, especially like America or UK or Canada, go to China, and then they think this like street hustler or whatever is just this amazing interaction that they had. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you
know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And they're like, "Oh, it was so cool. I met this so and so, blah blah blah." And they're like, "It was such an exchange of ideas.
Such an amazing experience." Meanwhile, you just got scammed, bro.
Yeah.
You just got scammed. Anyway, so that's the end of Soft Power Hour today. We're going to move on to Wu Mao Corner, guys. And today our Wu Mao Corner is going to be a little bit of a mix between Wu Mao Corner and international news, our worldview,
International news, you're throwing me for a loop here.
I know, it's worldview, international news. We may as well just throw it all in one basket today.
True.
So let's take a look at what's going on. We have something, going to bring it up here. I found it.
Mistakes.
power.
Okay.
Oh, I got to
Hey!
Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah, all right. Let's get past
we have a little speech.
Okay, we're going to listen to this lovely speech. Here it comes.
Throughout its 5,000-year history, the Chinese nation has always
If
valued...
you're an audio listener, this is the China's defense minister. So this is a very, very important person.
The defense, he's not speaking, by the way. If you thought he was very eloquent in English...
I would think it's the opposite.
Yeah, for some reason we have a little sync issue with our audio here, guys. So it looks like he's a bad dub, but it is a bad dub because he isn't speaking. It's just his translator speaking.
Yes.
Okay, so let's listen to this this little speech of his. He says, the Chinese nation has always valued peace and harmony. Let's go from there.
Peace and harmony. Since the founding of the People's Republic of China more than 70 years ago, we never started a conflict, occupied an inch of foreign land, or waged proxy war.
This is such BS.
Just a quick rundown of history. Actually, I don't even want to get into it too much, but are you telling me you didn't invade Vietnam?
Yeah, they invaded Vietnam in the 70s. There was a conflict with the Soviet Union. Never mind the fact that they took over Tibet. Yeah, they invaded Tibet, Xinjiang, India. They keep invading India all the time.
Yikes, you're stabbing me hot.
The thing is, they love this idea. They keep saying China has never, been an aggressor.
How do you think China became the size it is?
Yeah.
Well, you think it was just like that?
Yeah. It's not even ancient history, recent history. How about the South China Seas where they just claim it and build islands and expand and,
It's Zhengzai. It's happening at
right
the
now.
moment. At this very moment.
It's absolute BS, okay? China loves this whole, we're just peaceful, but if you look into it, it's rubbish.
Oh, it's
They've
probably
been
the worst textbook example.
Yeah, they've been involved in so many like conflicts and things in recent years. It's ridiculous. Anyway, let's carry on.
China has one of the best peace record among major countries. China stays committed to the path of peaceful development, but we will never hesitate to defend our legitimate rights and interests, let alone sacrificing the nation's core interests. As the lyrics of a well-known Chinese song
before we
goes,
even get to this well-known Chinese song, when someone says that, as the lyrics of a well-known Chinese song...
I was going to say, the Chinese defense minister is trying to bust out song lyrics.
I know, isn't it
Like
crazy?
He's talking to his girlfriend in high school.
Imagine in the White House defense minister's like, as Bob Dylan used to say, I'm born in the USA.
He's
something like that. No,
I'm just picturing him like jotting down like a message and folding and putting a heart on it, like a sticker, or whatever. And they send it over to the US or whatever, and they open it up and it's like
a song lyric.
I found a reason. It's like Hoobastank lyrics.
Anyway, this song you'll see soon is not like an ancient song or a good song or anything.
We think it probably comes from an old song, but I have my favorite example of it.
Yes, exactly. But it's not like an ancient song.
No.
It's within modern history. You'll see why. Like,
sure.
take a listen.
when friends visit us, we welcome them with fine wine. When jackals or wolves come, we will face them with shotguns.
There's some liberty in that translation.
Yes.
Which we didn't translate, by the way.
What great song lyrics.
I'm a big fan of Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
What do you like? I like that song about
well, when we invite friends with fine wine and jackals with shotguns, because that's what we like. Yeah, we're in China. This
photograph.
Oh man, seriously, our Chinese song lyrics are so great that we talk about shooting people with shotguns. Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah, so my favorite.
Oh yeah, your favorite.
It's
version.
It's coming.
Okay, you want to see it? Okay.
It's the Chinese people's character of being friendly and kind.
I hate to say this.
Intimidating.
Okay? I hate to say this, so I'm going to find a better way to say this.
Okay.
I'm going to try to be very PC in 2023.
Okay.
So correct me if I get off course a little bit here.
Okay.
But the way that the Chinese government scripts official speech is not just stuffy and like boring. It's very much like if somebody with a certain social disability tried to write something. Yeah. Because they have to be so specific and how to say literal.
Yeah.
This illustrates how friendly Chinese people. You notice
yeah,
that,
exactly.
right? It's always
dumb.
like that.
It's stupid. It's like someone writing a thing saying like, "This just shows how handsome and eloquent I am."
You know what's a good example of that?
What?
When they thought that onion thing of like the most handsome man awarded to Kim Jong-un was
real. Yes,
real.
they thought it was real. Yeah. It's dumb. Don't like buff yourself up with these stupid self compliments. It's stupid. Anyway, so you've got your favorite version.
I do.
Let's take a look.
Strong power.
So back in the day, can you explain the Diao Yudao thing real quick?
Okay,
because I didn't translate this.
Super simple. Diao Yudao means fishing islands. It's called the Senkaku Islands in Japan. It belongs to Japan. It's a small little island. Piece of crap little island. It's kind of
meaningless.
Okay, yeah, it's meaningless except for the fact that there's oil reserves nearby.
It looks meaningless.
Yeah, there's a little rock where birds shit on it. That's it. Okay, it's tiny. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, there was a big political problem in China.
Yeah.
Because there was this big scandal with Bo Xilai, and all this stuff. So suddenly China decided they needed a diversion, and the Diao Yudao, the Senkaku Islands, was it. Because as we all know, China hates Japan, and they teach their children to hate Japanese people. There's bad blood from the terrible atrocities Japan did during World War II, etc., leading up to it and all that. So Japan is their punching bag. Whenever there's a problem, they're just like, Japan's bad, and they rile up the population. So they saw this as a great opportunity to make it a big political thing. Yeah. So they said, this island, which Japan claims, actually belongs to us from ancient times.
They always find these maps.
They always pull out some ancient map and be like, since ancient times. This old map thing, by the way, is such bullshit. Yeah. I'm so tired of it because, as I've said before, the British Empire could pull out an old map and say, England actually rules the whole world. Yeah. Maps change, times change. You can't look at a map that's a couple of 100 years old or something and say, look, actually, this belongs to us.
That's what they do.
It's stupid. It's like finding a title to a car in your grandfather's attic.
Guess what?
That he sold like 30, 40 years ago and saying, oh, it belongs to me.
That's mine. Or you could go, this map is from the Republic of China, so the Republic of China still claims China.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It still is the legitimate owner of China.
So anyway, they whipped everybody up into this frenzy, and I'll never forget because I was there. You were there too, right?
Yeah.
At the time.
I was.
And even when I took my car in for a service, in the actual official dealership, they had bumper stickers and stuff for sale with these fists saying like the 钓鱼岛是中国的.
钓鱼岛是中国的岛.
Yeah, exactly. It was absolutely ridiculous. Baidu had it on their search page, their main Google splash thing, you know, instead of saying Google, it was like a picture of the island with a Chinese flag on top. Restaurants.
中国的骄傲.
Yeah.
钓鱼岛是中国的.
On top of restaurants, on top of buildings and businesses, they had the 钓鱼岛是中国的 like scrolling on those LEDs. It was insane.
It was wild.
Everybody was going crazy. Then they had anti-Japanese riots, and they like broke Japanese cars, and they smashed sushi restaurants. It was insane, right?
Yeah.
All because of this cooked-up nonsense to divert people's attention away from the real problems the CCP was having. Because no one cares about a damn island.
No one in Japan gave a shit.
No one in Japan suddenly went and said, "Hey, this is our island" or something. No one said anything. Just the Chinese government made it a big thing.
Yeah.
So they made rap songs about it. They made all sorts of. So this song over
This
here,
is a rap song. So the girl on the left, her name is Roland Wong.
Yeah.
She made some of the cringest, like worst Chinese pop music, which is actually very catchy but and fun.
Yeah.
But she also is a CCP member.
Yeah.
And she does national. She'll get called and be like, okay, you got to make a national song. And they made this Diaoyu Island rap.
Yeah.
And the guy on the right, or on the left, wherever you are.
This guy.
He doesn't even know the lyrics. He's reading something. He keeps screwing it up.
Yeah.
Anyway, they make this rap, and they have that quote that defense minister just said.
The thing about fine wine to a friend.
It's in here.
Okay, let's take a look at it. So maybe this is the song he was talking about.
Maybe this is the.
I think this
version. Yeah.
See this stupid. That's the island. It's this tiny thing. You know. It's dumb.
They shat this song out real quick.
Yeah, they certainly did.
Look at him. He's like reading some shit on the
Yeah,
side.
he's really bad at. He doesn't know what he's saying.
No, he has no idea what this is about.
Yeah. You know
anyway,
what?
here comes the line.
Okay, here it comes. Let's see. Where is it?
I just wanted to show his dude there.
Yeah, he's got so much attitude, that guy.
Here it is. So right there. It says, if we're friends, then we'll have good alcohol. We'll fine wine.
Yeah, 如果你是朋友, yeah.
我们有好酒. Okay, go ahead.
好酒 is not actually fine wine.
I know, but that's what he's translating it directly in that circumstance.
It's just fine alcohol.
Yeah, alcohol.
Yeah, and doesn't that annoy you a lot in China when they say, "Do you like to drink wine?" and you say yes, and then they bring out like
Baijiu, 58% Baijiu.
Do you like white wine?
I'm like, oh,
sure, there's Chardonnay or something, and then it's like rot gut 58% alcohol,
like 6 RMB.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Hongsing
Arguato. Yeah, this is great white wine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, so it's the same line. If you're a jackal, no, Tai Lang means like a wolf.
Yeah. Kuai Tai Lang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, you get the idea.
Yeah. So maybe I think the defense minister was quoting this song.
I'm gonna say he quoted this specific
song. He's like,
this song.
There's a well-known Chinese song, and it's this.
Yes.
I guarantee it was this.
It was this one.
It was this song.
It was this song.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have people like, that's not the one. No.
Yeah, like
listen,
Mao Zedong said.
It's this song.
It's this song.
It was this one.
He watches this at night before he goes to bed.
He does.
Every
and he
night.
Gets pumped up.
Yeah, and he's drinking his baijiu, and he's like,
we're gonna beat up America.
Exactly. Yeah. Dumbass.
We'll take hands if you're bad, then we'll shoot you away, right?
Yeah.
So that was the shotgun reference, basically. Anyway, that's the song he's quoting.
That's the song he's quoting, and it's ridiculous.
You guys suck.
And you know what? The Diaoyu Dao incident shows you just how bullshit all this stuff is, because no one cares about it now. They haven't cared about it for years.
No one in China cares about it.
No, I mean, seriously. It was such a thing that every single Chinese person was like out on the streets like, this island is ours. No one cares now at all.
No one
They haven't
cares.
discussed it for years. You go out there and say like, hey, how about them Diaoyu dolls? And they'll be like, oh yeah, I guess that belongs to us or something. Whatever, you know?
Yeah, that was the defense minister's workout jam.
Yeah, that's it. That is his workout jam.
You think he works out?
No, this is drink out jam.
It's his drink out jam. His
smoking.
white wine.
Yeah, exactly. He like lights his lighter to the beat. You know?
Yeah, well, he smokes expensive
exactly.
Zhonghua cigarettes.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, or those panda ones.
Yeah, those stupid expensive ones. Anyway, what's going on with this Ukraine weapons tracker?
Oh, it's
thing?
just very interesting that the Chinese military gave Russian military some vehicles to use in the war.
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
It's very interesting. I thought they weren't going to help. It's weird. They said they weren't going to help.
Dude, I've been seeing, the sycophants that, the CCP shills, man, are they like back in Russia?
Wow, they don't even hide it anymore.
No, now it's just like all about, the US should stop supplying arms to Ukraine and, the Ukraine just needs a ceasefire and everything will be okay.
I want to just rewind that for a second. In the beginning, when there was speculation that China was kind of helping out Russia in the conflict.
Yeah.
Or in the invasion, I should say.
Yeah.
When Russia invaded Ukraine, they were kind of like, well, China hasn't definitively said anything, but they stand up for sovereign nations, so they don't like that Russia invaded, but blah, blah, blah. And then like there was a lull, and then it was starting to be like more Russia talking points.
Yeah.
And then we were like, oh yeah, remember? China and Russia signed this propaganda deal where they're going to use each other's shills, right?
Yes, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the rhetoric started changing, and they're like, yeah, actually, the Russian invasion is justified because it's... And then now it's full-blown.
It's just weird because when you've got people that their sole job is to do propaganda for the Chinese government, why would they suddenly start doing propaganda for Russia?
Oh, they're whores. They have to get whored out.
Well, it just shows you that the Chinese propaganda department and the Russian propaganda department are working hand in hand.
Yes, and they have to... It doesn't even matter what they think. They have to do both the jobs.
Yeah, exactly. So the people that you saw shilling for China are now shilling for Russia and China at the same time.
Yes.
But it's just very telling, you know. Obviously, people's souls for sale or whatever.
Yes.
What do we have after this?
I think we have the Messi story, which we'll cover super quick.
Okay.
Because you guys probably heard it. Yeah, it's here. It's just a little gap there.
Okay.
So Lionel Messi, you guys know.
What does he play?
Soccer player. Yeah, football, soccer, depending on what you say.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool thing he did, actually. He didn't sign with that huge league Saudi Arabia is trying to pull out of their ass.
Yeah.
He ended up signing on with Miami, so he's playing for the U.S. Mm-hmm. He went to China for something, right? What happened there?
He got detained at the border because he was traveling on his Spanish passport.
Yeah.
And he trolled them because, if you go to Taiwan on a Spanish passport, you don't need a visa. It's visa-free. You can just go in.
Yeah.
So when he got to the border at China, they wouldn't let him in. But he was like, hey, isn't Taiwan part of China? You know, if I can go to Taiwan, why can't I come in here? And so, they didn't like that very much.
I have a lot of respect for him.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not a huge fan of Argentina because they get so hyped. I mean, not the country, I mean the soccer team.
Oh, okay.
Because in the World Cup, they always get so hyped, and it's like, come on, change teams. Let's see some other teams win. You know what I mean? So I've always kind of been like, whatever. I'm an underdog guy, I'm American.
Yeah.
So, but the fact that he signed on with MLS, American League, and then also trolled China at the border, pretty epic.
Yeah, it's pretty funny, yeah. Anyway, they didn't recognize him.
And, this is hilarious.
So they detained him and caused all sorts of trouble for him. You can go read up on the story.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of funny.
It is. Anyway.
Oh, yes, I suppose, guys, it's time for our...
How dare you?
It's time for Yamcha. Okay, this is our Q&A where you... we answer your questions and you question our answers. And I'm going to just loosen the tie. We can relax. It's Friday after all, guys. This is going to be a great weekend. I can feel it. So what do we got?
Grumpy Gnome says, I don't know, boys. This might not top them eggs. Sharing this early. Can't wait to catch this episode later. You some kings. Thank you very much, Grumpy Gnome.
Oh, by the way, if you don't know how this works, we leave the Yamcha segment open now, live, obviously, over the weekend. Monday, we cut it out of the show.
That's right.
So.
Magistrar Generalis says, your next drinks are on me. Cheers, guys.
And so for those of you who are not watching now or on the weekend, we bid you adieu. Stay awesome.
Nice little
and we'll catch you next time.
We had here.
Mm-hmm.
Cool on 1203. This Yamcha segment of the China Show is brought to you by Polystation 2, the most anticipated successor to the famous Polystation, which is that fake PlayStation.
Yeah, it's a fake PlayStation, basically.
Which plays like shitty homebrew games.
Isn't it just like a Famicom, like an NES,
NES,
basically?
That's right. It is.
With like 1,000,001 built in.
Yeah. GVNHTSM, thank you very much. Turd Ferguson, thank you very much. Anthony LaFleur, thank you, Winston, for your video on the power crisis going on in South Africa. Didn't know that the power grids were never updated.
It's ridiculous. And you know what? Something I didn't include in that video is that in 1994, when the ANC took over, the power grid was outputting more power than it is today. And if they just maintained it, didn't need to expand it, if they just maintained it, it would have enough power for the entire population as it stands, and we wouldn't have any issues.
Oops.
Yeah.
Jim Flagg, thank you very much. Sukareva syndrome. How come many online Japanese language programs are legit, but so many Chinese ones are scams? I want to learn Chinese. Because if there's money to be made, you better believe that with this lack of transparency, the Great Firewall of China, and no accountability legally wise, then of course it's going to happen.
And the thing is, like, it's very annoying, but the Chinese government will always back a Chinese person or a Chinese company. So if there's a situation where a Chinese company is scamming foreigners somehow, and it ever gets down to litigation, they'll be on the side of the Chinese company anyway. So they have that emboldened kind of attitude when they do these things.
But if they're scamming Chinese people, then they'll absolutely crack down on it.
That's right. But they don't mind. They love this us versus them thing.
Yeah. Bob Hunter, I'm the president. My name is Xi, and I'm not in control of my Chinese peasants. Any advice how I can retain control of my herd? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Jim Flagg, thank you very
Blame
much.
the Japanese.
Yeah. Matthew Booth, now we'll have shills make videos of them eating at school cafeterias saying, see, no rat heads here, and then show students dancing in costume.
Yes.
You probably will.
You will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
Turd Ferguson, what happened to the egg video? The moon. Give him the. Oh,
I don't have the moon today.
Right.
Sorry. What can I give him instead? I'll give him a. How about a? Maybe a ball sack. You know, just so you don't forget about Peter Ballsack, also known as Peter Daszak from the Eco Death Alliance. You know, the guy who helped muddy the waters when it came to where the coronavirus came from. It looks like things are maybe starting to unravel a little bit on that side.
Yeah.
We'll get into that.
Bob Hunter, good night, my dear fellow loving human beings. Dan the Frog Heat Dong, given the lack of running water, sanitation. Oh, you give a egg piss, by the way. I can do a nyao ha ha.
I can do a nyao ha ha.
Oh, nyao ha ha.
Given the lack of running water, sanitation, and sanitary practices, how does China not get outbreaks of diseases like cholera more often?
There are tons of disease breakouts.
Oh yeah.
You know, like I remember that talking about the kindergarten with the turd trough or whatever you want to call it, trench. They got an outbreak of hand, foot, and mouth disease, which is pretty bad.
That's I remember my kid
got that. It was after I left. Yeah, got hand, foot, and mouth. And also, when I was in the Shenzhen University, we got an outbreak of what the hell is that? There's a really bad like stomach thing or whatever. What the hell is it called?
Norovirus.
Norovirus. It's norovirus. Like, this is a first tier city. This is the university, this famous university in Shenzhen. And all the kids on campus are getting norovirus
dysentery is huge too.
Because of the bad hygiene in the food, canteens.
Sure. Yeah. Magistrar Generalis, the piss eggs video is pretty nasty, but what made me puke were the pig noises of the guy who ate one. Okay.
He was weird though.
He ate.
Did you see how he peeled the egg?
It took so long to eat one egg.
And he's like,
yeah.
That inhaling thing is kind of common.
Yeah.
You see it a lot when people eat rice. They'll be like, like that, but with the rice. It's a little off-putting, I'll be honest. I don't like it when people inhale food.
I love it.
Yeah, it's your favorite. You're like, yeah,
that's me.
You suck on that food.
Yes.
You suck it down.
Turd Ferguson says Cuba Libre is rum and coke with some lime in it. Oh, okay, you gotta have a little of the freedom.
A little lime. Okay, I got you.
In Hot Water, plan a video on China's economy. Looks apocalyptic. You better believe I have my next video coming out really soon about that.
Yeah.
Darth Witcher, thanks for giving me something to listen to every week for almost 2 years. When I ride around aimlessly on my e-bike, going on long drives and go on hikes in the wilderness. Thank you very much. I'm glad you do that.
Yeah, you're welcome, and we're glad. It's a pleasure.
G says Team Pig.
Okay, Team Pig's coming up. You know it.
Makes me irritate at the mention of pig.
On how nationalists feel about foreign companies pulling out of China.
I don't know, actually. What would you think they think? They probably think that they're just a Chifu China or something. They'll blame them for like being bad to China or something.
Probably.
Yeah.
Darth Witcher, I can still catch myself calling Winston Serpent instead of Serpent ZA, but hey, I'll eventually get it right one day.
It's fine.
Serpent ZA.
It's up to you. Or Spence.
Spence. How do you end up saying
I don't
that?
know.
Spence?
Yeah.
How do you read it like that?
I don't know, but that one dude was
He
just
did.
like, he was
The
Spence.
shill guy,
Spence.
right?
Yeah.
Kept calling you Spence.
Yeah, Spence. Yeah, whatever.
Our Hawaiian friend says, I miss Port of Dandong.
Oh yeah, we don't actually. I mean, I don't have it
After
here
we're
right
done,
now.
after we're done setting everything up again.
Yeah.
Black Halo 6, bro, we got emojis. What the hell? When did that happen? I'm spamming hearts on Matt. Also, shout out to China for cornering the market on the starvation cuisine.
Yeah,
bro,
it's
rein
true.
it in.
It's true though. It's true.
It's true. Piss
yeah.
eggs.
Yeah, it's like all these weird,
stones.
like eating weird insects and stuff that nobody normally would.
True.
Yeah.
Magistar Generalis. Funny how they dragged the U.S. to the dirt in that music video while showing British soldiers on the British coast manning a coastal gun.
Yeah, that music video by Dear Wong, Dear Penis, it's pathetic because she uses like American Civil War footage. She uses British, like, I don't know, during World War II footage, random stuff, all to say America's bad and Cuba's good. It's so stupid.
Yes.
Like, whatever, just find some old black and white footage of war and say that's America.
Yes. Pleb says, tell Winston about the radioactive steel thing. Also, would you pay me to hold or be the dog and cat? Play it, Winston. I double dog dare you. No. We will not honor that request.
Yeah. No, next week I shall.
Bolo Bravo Sierra, did you see Micron gets kicked out of China, but now released $600 million to stay back in China? Yeah, we've seen a lot of wishy-washiness. RDE Josh say, how do you say I love the China show in Chinese? Why 中国show? Yeah, you can say that.
Yeah. I'll give you a 好吃. Is this too loud?
好吃，好吃。
You know what? Probably, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Turd Ferguson, that dude's microphone looks like a little tumor.
What?
Troy Malay, thank you very much.
Oh, you mean the general?
I think so.
Yeah, probably.
A little tumor.
Yeah.
Can we call him Little Tumor?
I guess. I don't have.
Wow, so good.
Hey, Rick. A lot of love from Rick.
Yeah.
Mohammed Supriyono couldn't make it for the last live stream. My junior roommate was moving in his room for his senior year and found a bucket of piss in his cupboard that the seniors had left. The bucket was very full.
Oh no.
Not as full as that bucket,
no.
I bet. Mm-hmm. It's quite the senior prank to leave on the juniors.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I bet he didn't say that it was shufu.
No, he wouldn't have said that.
太舒服了.
Probably not.
No.
David, the Chinese education drills the idea that the backwards shall be beaten, while in Canada and the progressive parts of the U.S. is giving the kids the idea of I'm weak and oppressed due to race, sexual identities, and I deserve free handouts. Yeah, it's a bit oversimplified, but...
Yeah, there's issues all over that need to be dealt with.
Case closed 93. Winston, I'm glad your dad is back to posting stories again. By the way, I think TV show in 1923 is based on a scene off his elephant story.
Oh, really? Yeah. He'll be posting probably bi-weekly now again.
Nice.
It's set
I like it. It's a great channel. Check it out for sure.
Yeah, it's called Surviving Africa. You can look it up. It's my dad tells stories about surviving Africa.
Yeah. So fascinating. Pleb says, please teach me how to bum a smoke in Mandarin. Buddy C Milk, I thanks you. Also, are double happiness cigarettes Shuangxi cigarettes in Mandarin? Yes.
Yes, Shuangxi.
Yeah. 有没有盐?
Yeah,
有没有盐? Yeah. You would probably say 有没有盐. Yeah.
Mafani.
Mafani. 有没有盐?
Mafani is a good way to approach someone.
Mafani would be a good way. Mafani 有没有盐?
Yeah,
and then you can get one.
我要抽烟啊.
Yeah.
给我烟啊.
Or you could be indirect about it. You could be like, oh, 我没有盐.
Yeah.
And then people can give one to you.
Yeah, exactly.
RDE Josh, speaking of Google Translate, why does it think Shamate means kill Matt? That seems bloody outrageous and preposterous.
Yeah,
and
it's true. Because it's like
it actually does. It does mean that.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously different characters.
No, it's not.
Really?
Yes.
Is it Sha?
It's Matu.
But is it Sha like kill? It's not.
Sha.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Oh, it is. I didn't even know that. I wasn't paying attention.
Shamata.
Okay. Huh.
Shamata means kill Matt. And it's
great.
That's just a coincidence. How dare you? Case closed 93. I just rewatched Temple of Doom to get ready for Indiana Jones 5 coming out soon. I heard that was really good.
What, Indiana Jones 5?
Yeah.
That previous one was awful.
It was bad, but I heard this one was good.
the dude's old. Leave him alone.
Harrison Ford, he's great though.
Yeah, but he's old though.
He's mad old.
Yeah, he shouldn't be doing like adventuring around.
Yeah, what is he, 90?
With like whips and stuff. Like I feel like it's wrong.
I know. Where's it?
Well, that is. I mean, it's America though. Look at the president. You know,
it's true.
Yeah,
everyone can kind of live forever, really. I didn't realize the Chinese dialogue in that film is horrible. Oh no.
Oh, it's so bad.
Oh yeah,
it's
yeah.
So bad.
Why can't they get it right? How much money do you have?
Yeah, it's pathetic. It's
hire
not even.
a Chinese
It's not
person.
even a language that they're speaking.
Yeah.
It's not even a language.
Turtle Drone says, would you collab with No Fuckers Roman? I've been told that you've collaborated with him before. Would you ever have him on an episode? Yes, I've been on a show twice now. I believe
Yeah,
twice.
we went on a show together. Yeah. Sorry, I just threw in a plug this.
Of course, we would love to. Would do it forever. I watch every video. Chad Wrestler, thank you very much. Tim Fucked, it's a broken system. Sam Windmill says, totally unrelated, China, but have either of you guys are Alice Cooper fans? I've been jamming to his stuff lately. No.
You see the
I'm trying to be diplomatic,
poison
but
lips
no.
of venomous poison, that one?
No.
What? No, he does. Who sings that one?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I thought you said, do you know it? I don't know it.
Okay.
I know School's Out Forever.
Yeah, school's out for summer.
I just don't. No, I'm not a fan. But
yeah, I mean, you take it either way.
Take it or leave
it's
it.
like I don't mind it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go.
I
out
don't
of my
hate
way to,
it.
Yeah, you know,
Not gonna pop it on.
You know, when I drive my '78 Trans Am, I put on like Spotify playlists. I'll be like '70s rock or whatever, and he'll always turn up in there somewhere, and there'll be like some Ted Nugent in there or something.
Do you skip it when Alice Cooper comes on?
Most of the time. Most of the time.
At least
Yeah.
you're being honest.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because you know, I like to drive the music that's the same age as the
Sure.
car. You know what I mean?
I agree. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
So anything before and up to 78 is in
Sure.
that playlist. After 78, now you're cheating.
That's why I only listen to stuff from 2009.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Mr. Keys, let's make the Wumaos mad by reminding them about Chained Woman and that they disappeared. So comfy meme?
Oh, yeah, sure. What is that?
太舒服了。
Claret Chambers says, anyone seen Jack Ma lately? I think he was last seen in Japan, right?
Yeah, and I think he went back to China, possibly.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, it's one of those things where you don't know. The guy just has to lie low, and I doubt you'll ever see him come back into the spotlight.
What do you mean?
You know, like I feel like he's done.
Yes. David says the human mind of China is People's Republic. Once live forever, you know. That's a good play on words.
Yeah.
PB says folks with pet rocks should probably avoid China.
Yeah,
Probably.
you wouldn't want your pet sucked on by random street people.
Street
like, you know, it's like
what are street people?
You know, the people on the street. You know what I mean?
I'm a street person.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you've been off the streets too long.
I have. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Black Yellow 6 says, this song reminds me of our song from the American Prophet Pantera, You See Us Coming. And you all together run for cover. We're taking over this town. Nice.
Okay.
Eastwood 400. Congrats from Alabama on show number 165. Any new bike projects going on? Kind of. It's been having some fun on the bikes these days.
Yeah, I've got a 1999 KDX 200.
Yeah, I've been messing around on it these
days. It's like
now that you've kind of got it fixed up.
Yeah, it's still got a wonky wheel, but
sure.
It's my favorite bike in the whole world.
So fun.
There's nothing better, nothing more fun to ride than a KDX 200.
Very fun.
Yeah.
G Bobby G says, just woke up and tuning in. Sorry if you covered it. See the pitch invader in Argentina, Messi versus Australia, game in Beijing. Hope he's okay. Oh, that's why he was in Beijing. That makes sense.
Oh, yeah, there's a pitch invader.
Oh, was there? What happened?
I don't know. But I know that a Chinese company used the pitch invader as advertising because he was wearing one of their shoes or something.
Maybe it was just an elaborate ad.
I think it was. I feel like it was.
No one was hurt, right?
I don't think so.
David said you guys should explain to your audience what Ren Kuang means. It means like a mine of humans.
Yeah.
So I guess expendable human beings.
Yes, exactly.
I guess that's the joke from David. That makes sense. Saying the People's Republic of China, the People's Mine Republic.
Yeah, exactly.
Like them. Yeah. They mine the people. Doc Slothington, old Doc here to remind you that you're never too old to adventure. I went out and got the mail today. It was a journey. Have a good weekend, everyone. And thank you, Doc. You always manage to time your super chats very well with the end of our show.
Yeah.
Fantastic. We will see you on Monday because you will be there for Shabanho, please.
Well, yeah, you will.
You will.
Doc. Yeah.
And hopefully everyone else too.
Well, guys, thank you very much for joining us today. Yes, we will be seeing you next week again. You've got a video coming out, right?
I do, yeah. It's about the unemployment crisis and the economic downfall.
Yes, it's going to be great. I mean, not the economic downfall.
No,
but the video.
It's a good video that I'm very proud of.
It's good to get inside. Guys, here's the thing. What we do is incredibly important. I'm not trying to, toot our own horn or anything, but it's because nobody else does it because they can't.
Yeah.
They're too scared. We put up with a lot of crap. But it's not just that. It's this opaqueness that China has, this language barrier. Like, for instance, I just put out the video about the electric cars that are being left to rot in the field. As soon as I put it out, people have not seen that, okay?
No.
And then you get the people trying to come in and pretend like it's, those are just cars that are waiting to be shipped out.
Yeah.
No, they've got license plates on them. They've been licensed. Yeah, they've got Chinese license plates. They've been used in order to meet quotas, to get subsidies from the government, or so that they can say, look, our EV sales are better than everywhere else in the world. It's all a bunch of bullshit, and there's a bunch of facades and shortcuts that get taken in China all the time. But because of that opaqueness, most people don't see it. You read headlines, okay? You listen to lovely fluff pieces about China all the time. So it's important to get all the information you can to develop the correct kind of opinion about what's going on.
Agreed.
So I'm very much looking forward to his video. I really hope everybody checks it out next week.
Thanks.
And we'll catch you on the regular show or something else in between.
Yeah.
Have a fantastic weekend, guys. Be safe. Have fun.
Buckle up. It's going to be a rough one. Check.
Yeah, no, it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Have a great weekend, guys. We'll catch you soon. And I won't cut myself off this time. Let's try.